First and foremost, hope everyone is staying safe, staying indoors, minimizing all risk. It's dangerous out there. Stay inside. That all being said, so Tower of God episode 1 came out, the first of some Crunchyroll originals. We do know that God of High School and Noblesse will be coming later on. Hopefully that could lead to things like an ordinary hardcore leveling warrior and things of that nature. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We're here for Tower of God only. And I want to talk about the episode, how I felt about it, and how you guys felt about it. Because I did ask after I watched it in my community tab, what was the general consensus? And I did read some of them and answer some of them, but we'll go through it again and see what's going on. So let's just talk about the episode itself.
I got no time to parlay, unless it's big checks or parlays. I've been bricked, it's not far away. Light the spliff and I stargaze. Consultation with the constellations. They said the world was in a dark phase. It got me desperado for protection. Carry big strap in a guitar case.
I would say going into this anime, I don't know where my expectations lied exactly. Having already been let down by Noblesse at anime's, kind of first go at these webtoons from Line specifically, but visually, I like it, but it's weird because I feel like it's somewhat trying to emulate the season 1 kind of amateurish, unpolished style of drawing, but in anime form. But like, there's points where I look at like Kun's hair or some angles where Bam is like, and he just doesn't look right to me at those angles. But overall, visually, I do like it. I like how the lines are like protruding, the outlines for the characters, the dark lines. I actually really like that. And I imagine as season 2 starts, they would kind of clean it up and polish. I said season 2, I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Should we get a second season and actually go into season 2 at Tower of God? I'm gonna check. I think I saw someone say we're set for 13 episodes. I hope they're not literally trying to cram the entirety of season 1 into 13 episodes. That's not okay. It won't work, and it's gonna end up being what it is. But visually, I'm okay with it. I haven't seen anything too like in the first episode at least that makes me think, oh my god, like the fights and the actions are gonna be in danger. But I'll also say I haven't seen anything to make me think they're gonna be crazy. But I have not checked all the online staff and animators and stuff, so I'll check that out later and see what we could expect. But I like how it looks. Now, as for like the sound and whatnot, I don't have any issue with the music or anything. The opening ending didn't do much for me. I don't hate with the Stray Kids. I think they sang it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was fine. The opening itself, visually, was okay. The ending, just roll the credits. I imagine with episode 2, we'll see what the actual ending credits visuals look like. But I really, really, really want to watch this in Korean, like Korean dub. I don't want to watch it in Japanese, and I don't know if that's weird, because I know it's from Korea, and I know a lot of these names and such, they're based out of there. So it's like, I want to see how they sound, how they say it, how they tackle it, because I feel like it will hit a little better. So so definitely, if and when that comes out, I'm pretty sure Asadi is coming out. I'm definitely going to watch it in Korean, because I think that's the way to watch it, because, I don't know, I need it. So the first episode went by pretty fast, I would say, pretty quickly. It felt very fast paced, as opposed to how slow the beginning really feels when you're reading the webtoon. Like, I understand the decision to omit certain things, and I know that a lot of times with these shows, what they might do, they might not fully omit it. They'll just add those parts in at later moments. And I understand you can never really do a one-to-one adaptation, and I'm of the belief you never should. If you don't use the advantages of the medium to tell the story, whether or not it's an adaptation, I think you failed. If you're just doing a one-to-one dialogue, one-to-one panel per panel, adaptation of the webtoon, might as well just read the webtoon. I'm here to see it move, see it animated, use the actual strengths of animation in order to tell the Tower of God story. And I know that sitting and watching a lot of dialogue, because remember, I don't know if you remember how exposition heavy the beginning is, because Bam doesn't know anything. So it's just like, here's the pocket, this, that, invisible inventory, the floors are this, blah, 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 test, regular, irregulars, non-regulars entitled. Get that out of there. I don't see non-regulars. Put irregulars in there. So, like, I understand for the first episode, you might not want a viewer sitting there just listening to all this dialogue. They might be bored. Now all of us, we we come to expect this, so we like it, right? So we're okay with it. But for maybe anime only, they're like, bro, I'm not trying to sit through 30 minutes of these guys explaining to Bam how that tower works. So I get it. I would like to see some of those interactions come in later on, maybe at pivotal moments where Bam has to do something. He's thinking of Rachel. We could flash back to some more of those interactions. I know they're not there right now, but I wouldn't put it past anime to possibly have them at pivotal moments. So I remain optimistic in that aspect. I'm trying to think of anything else now. But yeah, it was fast and it did cut out a lot. I would have personally done this. First of all, I actually would have made that first episode longer. So like, you think of Fate Zero, if you've seen it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the first episode's about 45 minutes. And I think taking that time, I know how boring it would have been. I think I would have upped the pacing with the second episode and beyond, but I would have taken that first episode to truly expand and explain and get into all the minutia of the things that Bam learned in the webtoon, in the first chapters and whatnot. Some of those Yuri, Evan interactions on their way to the first floor, hearing somebody open the tower, like the door to the tower. Like, I think those are important because establishing Evan and Yuri's relationship and how it works, I think that's something we need to know going forward, considering how important Yuri is. This is not even like a criticism or anything, but I just wanted to know how you guys felt about the Black March and the the Green April, kind of looking like swords, 13 months weapons, right? Like how it looked in the manga, the webtoon manhwa. Like, it kind of just looks like this stick, like a needle, actually, like a little pointy thing. It looks more like a blade, and I don't know if that's a bad thing, because I don't know how they're going to distinguish needles and swords in the anime. Are they going to make them look more pointy? Like, I don't know. So we'll see. Like, it's not a big deal. I just thought it was interesting because, like, I don't think in any panel we've seen of the Black March or Green April it looked like it was a sharp bladed weapon. I just thought it was an interesting touch to do that. So that's cool. We do know that swords become hard to swing the higher up you go because Shinshu becomes denser. So I don't know why they did that. I'm not mad at it, by the way. I thought it was interesting, so I just pointed it out. Rack was cool. Kun came out. Sometimes Kun hair looks weird to me, but you know, I have issues with him. And everyone sounds okay, even though I still wanted to hear it in Korean. But I mean, that's about really it, I'll have to say, for the first episode. It wasn't blown away. I somewhat expected this. Like, I'm not disappointed, but I don't think it did enough. It didn't do what I wanted it to do for the first episode. But again, there's still 12 left. You don't know. It could still end up being really good, really solid. So I am absolutely not here to hate on it. But yeah, man. My friend did watch, and I spoke to him about it a little bit. So we were watching it on, like, not Rabbit, what's the other thing called? I can't remember what it's called right now. But anywho, and like, I found myself constantly needing to explain things to him because they weren't saying what I needed them to say in the first episode. Like, okay, each floor is the size of like a continent, North America. Okay, but like, actually, when Yuri kicked Bam in the face, him and Evan were actually talking. Like all these things. Like, they were supposed to say that he doesn't look as menacing as like a Urek and whatnot. So it's just like, I found myself constantly filling in the information they wouldn't tell. And I think that's the one advantage we do have. So let's say I'm wrong and they don't really come back to some of these scenes. They're just gone for the sake of making the anime faster and getting to like later stuff later. Or like the later stuff quicker. We're lucky enough to know what's missing, what's wrong, what's been omitted, what's been changed, switched around, so we can kind of just fix it in our own minds, in our own headcanon, if you get what I'm saying. It's like, I imagine all of those things already happened because I read it, even though I didn't see it in the anime. But now let's go to what you guys were thinking when I asked the question in the community tab and see how y'all feel about the anime, episode 1 specifically. So let's start. Alright, so, like it. What I said before, they cut out a lot of the interactions, Bam's dialogue, which is one of my favorite parts of the first few chapters. Understandable. I did answer some of these, so In my opinion, for us manhwa readers, we might feel some type of way for the pacing. I'm not speaking for all viewers that have read the manhwa, obviously, as opinions certainly differ. But when stripping myself of all prior knowledge of the manhwa and placing myself in the shoes of a first-time viewer in anime only, I find that the anime definitely has its own charm. For its first episode, it will most definitely captivate its audience in a different way from how the manhwa first captivated us. They seem to be taking a more serious and less light-hearted approach to the series. The way I see it, it's the best to appreciate both the manhwa and anime as different forms of the same story. And that's a good answer. Like, I'm not mad at that, because I feel like that. I feel in a lot of respects I feel that way. I think by the time I'm finished watching all the episodes that they have out for now, I'll have a better gauge on that. But I mean, it's a good answer. I'm mad at it. Honestly, I thought they should have put the second test in episode 2 so that they wouldn't have to cut out some necessary context interactions. Also, the scenes at the beginning were very confusing and possibly unnecessary. I don't, you know, the scene where he like kind of like pulls the. I don't even remember if he actually does it in the first chapter. Cause maybe that happens. Does he untie the little rope that's holding up her dress and following her, like, and then they definitely weren't blushing. Like, I'm like, bro, what is this? I think it's a good show, but too fast. Missed out on some Yuri Evan interactions. Yeah, I understand. It was alright to me. It skipped some beginning material, if I'm remembering right, but it was really overall fine. Happy to see the manhwa actually become an anime. In a lot of ways, that's kind of like the big takeaway. Like, at the very least, we made it. We got here. You know? You gotta take the good with the bad. It has potential. That I agree with. I'll bet the rush pacing and small details left out. However, if it keeps the current pacing, it's too fast for anime viewers. 13 episodes is tight fit for season 1, since you are introduced to slow world building and concepts. I have my doubts on it, but will continue watching it. Episode 1 was okay, neither bad nor great. 7 or 7.5. Yeah. My man, Beyond. Man, they skipped almost all of Rachel's moments teaching Bam. I also want to see more of my freckled queen. Oh my god, I got sick for a second. Excuse me. What happened? Especially since they made her look hella cute in the anime. They'll probably touch back on it in a later episode. However, they skipped a lot of the other content too. I hope they don't just rush through season 1. I feel it, man. Top TV game stuff. Honestly, very decent. My main complaint is that they cut out the Yuri everything. We all feel some type of way about that. I've seen that like 8 times. Where she decides to help Bam and the foreshadowing to Urek. The episode rushed it and looked like Yuri appeared out of nowhere and helped him just for kicks. It almost looks. My friend's like, "Yo, does she like him? Is she only here because he's cute?" And like, it kind of leaves out her interest in seeing an irregular kind of before they become a monster. You know? So actually, that's a good point. But overall, pretty decent and a good beginning. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was decent for me. As a reader, I've accepted they'll streamline the early parts so that first-time anime watchers can get to the broader scope of the world ASAP. Voice acting was on point. BMC says, just glad the Black March looks like a dope sword and not some weird black toy in the webtoon. I actually think because that's not technically a blade, it's more of a needle, then I would argue that I don't like it, but it didn't bother me. I thought it was interesting. Also glad they changed the subtitles to say irregular, not non-regular. Definitely felt a bit fast, but overall it's a good start. Okay, so did they change that to irregular like later? Because when I watched it, they said non-regular, and I'm like, bro, call it isn't irregular. He's like, I got it. Great. Little things were cut out here and there, but I imagine it wouldn't scare off anime-only viewers. Good visuals. My might say was Roxas was good. Good visuals, OST, but pacing was a bit rushed, and the way they structured that opening was not it. You know, I like I almost don't remember the opening. I feel like Bam was just like walking somewhere or something. I don't even remember it, but I remember like that the opening came on and I kind of like went on my phone to text a little bit, and then when the show came back, I came back. Mark Owen says they skipped over a few things expected in brackets, but nothing too important. Okay, I'd overall give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. Edit, scratch that. Just rewatch. The pacing is 6.7 out of 10. Sometimes you need that second rewatch to put it. I get it. I'll be like that. Stop, so fucking weak. You said never mind. I was tripping. That's straight mid. Decent. 7 out of 10. It skipped the Yuri Evan interaction and the Bam Kun Rack interaction and other comedic stuff. Yeah, it seems to be a little more serious. It's pretty good. They had to cut some dialogue, but other than that, it's solid. My boy Zodiac Summoner. It was a while ago when I read the beginning, but I liked how this was done. The music and visuals were really cool. Okay. With 13 episodes, we can assume every episode will be rushed just like this one was. No faith. Oh my goodness, no faith. I'm gonna try to remain a little more optimistic. Stormy, better than I expected. Honestly, oh shit. That means you came in thinking it was gonna be gonna be a booty. Not amazing, but pretty good. I personally enjoyed it, though I thought it was a little fast paced. They skipped Urek. What the F? It's a little fast paced. It could have been awesome if the pace was a bit slower. Would have given it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It was pretty good. A generous 3 out of 10.
Oh no.
I think I answered this too, right? I was like, oof. A little harsh, don't you think? Nope, pretty generous. They cut out so many important scenes. Why people fight. Kun's rant about the ruler. Yuri Evan interactions and hate on Sneaky side. What is there to like? You know, I actually agree. Certain things were handled poorly. I won't deny that. However, this is not the worst adaptation of a series I've ever seen. When I think of a bad adaptation, I think of Berserk, Dragon Ball Evolution, Death Note 2017, Percy Jackson, etc. And when I went in as if I hadn't seen or heard of the series whatsoever, and I left curious, wanting more. To reiterate, I agree with your points, I do, but I don't think it was so bad that it was unwatchable. Okay. I like this. I like that exchange. 7.3 out of 10. Felt rushed. And yeah, that's about everything that everyone said. I know I responded to some of these. I'll open all of these real quick just to see if anyone else said anything. I know I was like, you know, 1 second, because I feel like some of you guys had some conversations about some things like that little one exchange. I don't know though, but man, overall, I'm hopeful. I really do hope it hits. Like that crown game, the lore stuff. Like there's so much things to look forward to. So I'm like, I am excited. So here, I agree 100% that they even putting Hadon in the dirt like he obeys Jod. Okay. Right here, let's open this up. I said, also, do you think it's gonna be well received? As long as they stick to what makes the series what it is, for the most part, anime only and manga readers can vibe with it, especially with the first season. Alright. I feel it. And yeah, alright, so that's what you guys think. Overall, me personally, I'm sitting somewhere at a 6.5 to a 7. That's kind of where I'm floating. Just one episode, right? I don't really like to judge anything too harshly based on that one. We know the greatness in the webtoon. We know what we could and should expect. Let's just hope for the best. Y'all have yourself a good day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay inside. Your
tears all falling, my heart is froze. Can't talk to me, but I